All right, Top Tribe, welcome back to another episode of the Top Entrepreneurs. We are joined today by Regina Pradham. She's got an amazing story. It starts off coming over from Nepal. She's now has her very successful restaurant chain we want to talk about. So Regina, are you ready to take us to the top?
Sure,
All right.
I am.
Start from the beginning. First off, tell us what the name of the restaurant is, and obviously how you make money, all right? And then we'll go back and build up to that story.
So it's Tarka Indian Kitchen.
Okay.
We started our first one in 2009 when the economy was in the dumps.
Not a good time.
No, not a good time.
You just did it anyway.
And it worked out really well. Fast forward to 16, we have 5 units right now.
Okay.
And in the next 2 years to 2.5, we're planning to double our units. Between Houston, Austin, and San Antonio.
Very good. So you'll have 10 locations, ideally in the next,
24 months or so.
24 months?
Yep,
okay,
yep.
Very good. So how did you get into it? 2009 is when you got into the business. What were you doing before that?
No, 2009 is when we opened Tarka.
Okay.
We opened Clay Pit, which is downtown, in 98.
Okay.
How I got into the business is nice long story.
Tell people what the cuisine is, by the way. So
they're both Indian.
Both Indian cuisine.
Clay Pit is a fine dining restaurant. It's housed in a 160, 170-year-old building. Mm-hmm. Tarka is a quick casual version of Indian restaurant. So we kind of looked at Pei Wei and said, hey, if Pei Wei does this for Chinese and bring it mainstream, we want to do that for Indian food. Mm-hmm. So it's not Chipotle style where you have food already sitting out there and they scoop it out. We actually cook it once the order comes in. So it's cooked to order, but it is quick casual.
People are salivating at their mouths right now, just wanting.
You gotta try it out.
Yeah, Indian food or sweet and sour chicken from Pei Wei. So a big question I have, it sounds like your foray into the restaurant industry was in 98, is that accurate?
Correct.
Okay, that was your first kind of restaurant thing.
Owning one, I waited tables and so sort of managed.
People always say I have a bunch of investor friends and they all tell me, about how they invested in this new restaurant, and then 2 years later I go, so how's the restaurant? And they're like,
Right.
So why do people start restaurants?
I
don't just lose money?
I think what happens is people go to fine dining restaurants and they want to show off to their friends, wine and dine, have a nice bottle of wine, and they see the sexy part of the business, right? You can actually show off and be seen and be seen. What they don't see is what goes behind the scene. It's a very hard business. I tell people, I get, even to this day at Tarka, people come to me constantly saying, I'm a doctor, I'm an engineer, I work for Dell, and I'd like to franchise. Are you ready to franchise a store? And we are not, but we collect email or contact information down the road if and when we decide to franchise. We have a list ready. But what I tell people is it's not the easy. There are much easier ways to make money. So if you get into it, do it because you are passionate about it.
Well, guys, we want to talk about why she's so passionate about restaurants, but first, you heard her just mention the franchise model. If you're interested in how to really run a franchise and what the economics look like and what royalties might look like, go back and listen to last Monday's episode with Cody Bradsheet, where she talks about how she licensed and really franchised a location called the Lice Place here in Austin. That's a good one. But let's come back. So you have to be really passionate about it. Did this run in your blood?
No.
What got you into it?
I graduated with an editorial journalism degree.
No way. Okay. What school?
From University of Washington, Seattle.
Okay. And
got into master's program in Vermont. And the same year I met my husband. We got married. He went to Texas, to Austin, because his cousin lived in Austin, and they figured they'd open an Indian restaurant. So I was on the way to Vermont for fall, and in summer he said, well, why don't you come hang out with us, and then go off to Vermont. And came over to Austin, and we bought the really, really old building on 16th and
This was 98 or 2009?
98.
This is 98, okay.
Right, 98. And back then...
What'd you buy it for, I'm curious, in Austin?
Well, since the current owners are my partners at Tarka,
She's bailing. Can you feel it? Can you people feel it? She's bailing on. This was 98.
They might not even watch this.
Come on, what was it like? Under a million or above a million? Way above a million?
Not way above.
Where did you get the capital to do that?
Well, you know what's
Do you guys
interesting?
like how I just did that? You
Yeah,
did,
yeah, no. What's interesting is that's actually a really good story.
How did you?
While I was waiting tables in Seattle, right? And this is a really good one.
You can't tell me you made $1 million waiting tables.
No.
Okay.
I'm not. There was my husband and me, and then he had a couple of cousins, so there were 4 of us.
Got it.
But while I was waiting on tables, I waited on this one guy who worked for Microsoft. So I had never bought stocks in my life before, and you know, you're chatting, flirting, whatever, and he goes,
well, was it chatting or was it flirting?
whatever, between, you know, what? So he kind of started talking about things, and he's like, well, you know, how Microsoft stock splits, and I was like, that sounds awesome. The same thing I have, doubles and and, you know, whatever. Didn't know what all of that was. So I withdrew $5,000 on my credit card.
Okay. How old were you at this point? This was 98?
20, yeah.
So just out of college? Just out of college,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So bought $5,000 worth of Microsoft stock, and sure enough, it was just that time when it split and split and split, and that turned into 20,000 in a matter of, I don't know, a couple of years. I don't remember exactly what it was.
Do you have kids right now?
Yeah.
What are their ages?
9 and 12.
Would you recommend to your 12-year-old when he or she graduates that they do the same thing?
What, we draw money on a credit card and buy stocks?
And buy stocks you know
I
nothing about?
I don't know. I'm not too crazy
That's
about
pretty
credit cards
daring.
anymore.
That's pretty daring.
I think ignorance is a bliss. I didn't know any better.
So the majority of the capital, though, came from the growth of the Microsoft stock.
My part of it.
Your part.
And then my, you know,
4 other
husband, I think his
cousins.
mom, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Helped, and then 2 other cousins, their parents helped.
So
we put
go
in.
ahead, yeah.
You know, what's interesting is nobody was willing to talk to us back then.
In terms of raising capital?
No, in terms of selling or leasing.
Why?
Because we were just these youngsters, you know, in our 20s who never had a restaurant industry background. But anyway.
You know, these people watching, dude, they just go into an empty spot that they're walking by downtown. They just set up a restaurant. When the owner comes by and goes, what the hell are you doing? They just say, oh, can we sign a lease? Right? That's how it works.
Right.
So why did you, walk me through the transition. The name of the business that you had launched in 98 was called what?
Clay Pit.
Clay Pit. Is that still around today?
That's still around today. We sold it in 2007.
What'd you sell it for?
Again, the current owners are my partners.
Give me a range.
I cannot.
How many locations were there?
Oh, there's only one.
How is Clay Pit, how is a restaurant valued? Top line or bottom line?
Top line.
Okay, top line annualized revenue or past?
You know, I think
projected
when you look at a model like Tarka, it's top line projected growth.
Okay.
When you look at a model like a Clay Pit, which is a 1 unit, you know, mom and pop in a way, it's completely different. Actually, that's not even top line. They look at bottom line. I'm sorry, because it's a 1 unit mom and pop. They truly look at the bottom line and do.
So what were margins?
2 times or 3 times.
What was your margin in Clay Pit when you 07?
Gosh, I want to say 15 to 18%.
I don't know. Is that good or bad?
That's good.
That's good for
really
restaurant.
Good, yeah.
And was most of that deal price? It sounds like you actually owned a real estate asset.
Correct.
So without telling me what the total number was for the sale, what was the buyer actually paying for more? The restaurant or the real estate? So 09.
Goodwill only goes so far. Unless you have a place like Tarka where you can project growth.
Yep.
Then anyway.
So you get into Tarka, you open your first location.
Right.
I always love asking this question to entrepreneurs. Do you remember what first year revenue was? It's always embarrassing.
You know, we were very, very surprised. It was north of $1 million, a little shy of 2, I think.
Okay.
So we did not expect that out of a quick casual.
Why was it so successful?
I think price point.
Okay, what was your average?
And where it was.
Where was it?
In Sunset Valley, Brody. In South, it was underserved at that time. There weren't any Indian restaurants.
Okay, so for somebody watching right now who might be looking to open their own restaurant, they won't know the address you just mentioned, but you probably looked at something related to demographics, vehicles passed per day, things like that. What were some of those metrics you looked at to pick a location?
You know, what is funny is my husband. No. My husband, who is the CEO of this company, he posted a Facebook question saying that we're opening a quick casual Indian restaurant called Tarka. Where would you like to see us open one? And just kind of left it out there, and majority of the answer that came was in the south side, past 290. And then we started looking around. I mean, honestly, Nathan, what we were looking for was deals back then, right? I mean, rents are very, very expensive, so in the South area, you know, we can't touch Congress.
Did you buy or rent?
No, rented. It's in Strip Center, yeah.
Okay, you rented. So let's, just because we're running short on time, I want to go down the unit economics of a dish sale. What is the average order size of a dish that you're selling at Tarka?
Like ounces?
No, like 10 bucks, 12 bucks.
How much?
Yeah.
Yeah, 10, nothing above 10.
Okay, so.
Yeah, anywhere from 7 to 10.
$7 to $10, okay. Cost of goods sold. And what's
we do really good, about 27.
Okay, I am totally uneducated in this space. You said really good. Why is that really, how have you made that really good?
I think, how have we made it really good? I think we've done a good job. Our culinary team does a good job.
It's where you're sourcing and
yeah, I mean, being not wasting, training everybody not to waste.
Okay.
Definitely bulk buying, that helps.
So it's a $10 dish. There's $2.70 going towards cost of goods sold. What else is a kind of, let's go down to EBITDA. So
labor.
How much is that?
Big one. Labor is 32%.
Okay, and what about rent?
Rent is
10, 12?
About 10-11-ish%. Yeah.
So it's fair to say kind of average, again, you have customers going through these 5 locations every day now. It's 2016. Average order size is about $10, $2.70 for the...
Average order size is more. I thought you were asking average dish, because if somebody comes
multiple
in.
Dishes.
Right.
Okay,
no,
let's stick with...
they'll get a drink and a naan, which is a bread. So average ticket size is about 11 to 12.
Okay, same percentages though?
Yeah,
okay,
same percentages.
So a $12 sale, $2.70 about on the materials in the dish. You've got another $1.10-ish going towards rent, again, per dish. $3 or $4 going towards labor for that dish, and then boom, bottom line.
Yeah, it's not as simple as that. I mean, you've got utilities and,
Okay. Is the business, when you are leading the business and you said you're kind of projecting to opening new locations, are you looking at a bottom line target, and if you don't think you can hit that target, you won't open at all? How do you make a decision where to open? Right
now, we're in a growth mode.
Okay.
So our target is to open 5 more. It doesn't matter what we do. I mean, we've done our homework. We know we're going to do well, right? But beyond that,
by the way, I love the confidence. People are watching right now. They're going to be commenting, going, "We're rooting for Regina. She's going to be big." Most people, I think that's the key. That's like the key to success. I think is you have to brainwash yourself first. That's going to be very successful. And after you brainwash yourself, you can brainwash everybody else.
There you go.
And it happens.
There you go. If you want to hear a tiny little story,
give it to me.
I used to volunteer for Safe Place down at the courthouse, and Joan Carter, my supervisor at that place, because basically I was a legal advocate for women of domestic violence, suffered. And so Joan Carter taught me to talk to these ladies and say, if you can't stand up there in the stand or talk to your accuser or whatever it is, just fake it. Just sit there in that room and pretend you're roaring like a tiger. And the more you do it, it's just gonna naturally come. You'll kind of like fake it till you make it kind of thing. So that's what it is. Not I'm saying that I'm faking the confidence, but you kind of gotta believe in it. You gotta believe you can do it. Because sometimes when you sit down and think about it, it took us 5 years to build this much, and in 2 more years we're gonna double that up.
It's amazing.
It's
unbelievable.
nerve-wracking.
Well, Regina, people are gonna want to follow you as you build this, as you go for those 5 more locations over the next 24 months. Where can they follow you online?
My husband says that I live under the rock because I don't have Facebook. I don't have LinkedIn.
What's the business website?
TarkaIndianKitchen.com.
TarkaIndianKitchen.com.
There you go.
We'll link to that in the show notes to check it out.
I probably should open LinkedIn.
You're good. So Regina, we're about to get to my favorite part of the show. Do you know what time it is?
The famous 5.
Oh, you're good. You got it. I was like, oh, she's going to get it. She's not going to get it. She's going to do. That was good. Famous 5. Number 1, what's your favorite business book?
7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
That's a good one. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying right now?
Not really. I follow a little bit Sheryl Sandberg, but not really. Not so much.
Yep. Super smart lady. Super smart. Number 3, is there a favorite online tool you have, like FreshBooks?
Log me in.
Log me in. What does that tool do?
It allows me to log into each of my locations and look at all their numbers.
Data, numbers.
Data every day, every morning. I'm data-driven, just like you.
Yeah.
Every morning I
many
wake up
employees-
with a cup of coffee, and that's what I do.
Well, let's be honest. It's like we wake up and like before we get out of bed, it's like phone, refresh.
No, I
look at
don't
the
take my
number.
phone to the bed.
Oh, okay. And that's
On my
actually that's
coffee
really
table,
good.
yeah.
I can't do that.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, I think most of my engagement on these videos, it's like when people are, well, we won't go there. You know, it's like the bathroom visit, right? You sit down, you get lost in your phone,
Right.
and people are like, let's just call a spade, okay? That's
Right.
what, all of you do it. Don't laugh at us. All right, number 4. Yes or no? Are you getting 8 hours of sleep?
Yes.
Okay, good. And
I
what-
tried without it, and
It
trust
just
me,
didn't work.
I was worthless.
What's your situation? Married, single? Do you have kids?
Married, 2 kids, 9
kids.
and 12.
9 and 12. Okay, very good. All right, so last question. Take us back to your 20-year-old self. Regina, what do you wish that she knew?
I would say, I wish she knew that not to worry too much to have everything laid out. You know, you might take one path to think that's where you're headed, which is where I was headed, to Brattleboro, Vermont for a master's in international studies. And little do I know that life presents you with the opportunity. You just got to recognize that they are opportunities and take them.
Top tribe, there you have it. Recognize the opportunities in front of you and take them. Hardcore from Regina, who got into the restaurant industry first as a waitress, opened her first location after making some money off Microsoft stock splits in 1998. Sold that business, now opened a new business, 2009, already 5 locations with plans to double in the next 24 months. Regina, thank you for taking us to the top.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Nathan.